boy.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
So today we're talking about pick a side. If you guys don't recall, we did a video on them before in which they had some really bad San Antonio Spurs takes, like god awful, in which they were saying we're not a good draft team. It was really sad. It was really bad. But overall, look, they got a lot of heat for that. On YouTube, people destroyed them. I went in on them. I did not like their takes whatsoever, but just solely destroying the takes. That's all we do here. And I even tried to get them on a live stream so we could talk about it, but it didn't really fall through. They said yes, kind of had something set up, and then I didn't get messages back, and it just went downhill from there. So I don't know. We don't know what the future has in store. It would be cool to talk to them about the San Antonio Spurs, but who knows. So I definitely wanted to look at this and see what you guys were talking about, because some people said you really need to watch this video. And yeah, but it says we were wrong about the San Antonio Spurs, so I'm expecting nothing but positivity. Let's go in.
Next segment is about the San Antonio Spurs. Recently, they made it into the play-in, and because of that, a lot of Spurs fans came to the Pick a Side Pod Twitter. We're going back to an old tweet that we had put out, that I had put out, saying the Spurs are going to be one of the worst teams in the NBA. I even made a $200 bet with this dude named Eric.
What was that?
It was if the Spurs are going to be a bottom 5 team in the West.
Bottom 5. Wait, yeah, we're pretty. We're going to be a bottom 5. I mean, we're like 10 in the. Yeah, we're like 10.
What are they right now?
They're playing team.
No, I mean, if Lakers don't fold, we wouldn't be in this conversation.
No, but I mean, even still, like with Pop.
If the Lakers don't fold, I don't know. He's giving me some weird vibes right now. He's giving me some really weird vibes. I have a feeling he just, and this was the case with the last video as well. I feel like this guy really just doesn't like the Spurs. Like I think it's like seriously something that he has against the Spurs, and I don't think that's my bias talking. It could be, but it just seems a little weird. Like that's a weird comment. If the Lakers didn't fold, the Lakers were god awful, my guy. They had no chemistry basically all season long. Even when they were healthy, they didn't have a lot of chemistry. I don't know.
I trust his basketball mind always. Listen, I would never bet against that.
I did say that.
Yeah, you don't bet against Pop.
I would never bet against that.
This is what I'll say though. Of course, the Spurs have been better than I expected. And looking back at my evaluation, I don't think I was totally off base. I don't.
Keldon Johnson.
Keldon Johnson, I was off.
Okay, I don't really know what his takes were initially. I guess it was something on Twitter. I don't really recall him saying a lot about this on YouTube, so I don't know.
He's been super efficient. I think he's been better as a playmaker too. Sometimes they ask him to do some stuff off the dribble.
Definitely improved.
I didn't think Dejounte Murray was going to rise to an all-star player.
We called that.
I like Dejounte, but I thought he was going to be a little bit of a step below. Not an all-star, but a step below. He's been there, and it's been their effort.
Step below all-star? I don't know. That's one of those weird things because we do have to keep in mind there was a lot of things that had to happen. He wasn't initially an all-star, but I think we all agreed that he should have been an all-star anyway. So,
all season long, they're in these close games with some of the top teams in the West. You're right. The Greg Popovich effect. He has this team playing super hard.
This is all the Lakers' fault, man.
But at the same time,
he doesn't. I think a lot of people who just are casual. I'm not saying these guys are all casuals. I don't mean that in a negative way, in a negative sense. I just think guys who just like to see these other teams like the Lakers are really upset about this. But this whole thing of like, it's the Lakers' fault. The Lakers should have done this. They just weren't playing well, and the Spurs were. That's it.
The Spurs fans came to our Twitter and were acting like they just won a championship because they made the play-in.
They didn't even make the play-in. It's still decided on if they'll make the play-in.
And they are 10 plus
13 games and under 500.
Okay, that's even worse. So they're not even a good team, but this is their championship moment. And I'm here wondering why Spurs.
By the way, when he said that it's not, I'm trying to think when this was even recorded because we had already made the play-in, I think, when this came out. So I don't know what he's talking about. What he was talking about. I don't know.
Spurs fans are so excited if they're ruining their chances of getting a top pick in the draft. Maybe they can still get it. That being said,
guys, he's kind of speaking facts right now. I'll be honest. He's kind of speaking facts right now. This is the exact same thing I said. I just don't understand everyone being ecstatic about this. Other than the I told you so's, other than the ha Lakers fans, I get all of that. But I don't get this being excited for the playoff. We're not going to prove anybody wrong this season. And it's just a reality. I don't even think Pop thinks we are. Like, it just is what it is. I don't know. That's my thing. I want the pick.
It helped that the Lakers got hurt. It helped that the Kings don't know what they're
Lakers didn't have chemistry anyway.
Doing. It helped that Dame has missed the whole season for Portland and that the Thunder and the Rockets are blatantly tanking. There are teams at the West that aren't even trying. So I don't think it's that crazy.
I said that too. I said that at the end of this season, the Spurs were playing really hard, and we did go against just, subpar talent or people that aren't necessarily 100% in it. You're getting ready for the playoffs. And whenever you're starting to get ready for the playoffs, you're going to have a lot of teams that already gave up. And then you're going to have some teams that's sitting out players. So I just, yeah.
I'm not apologizing for nothing. The Spurs still suck. They're 13 games under 500.
See, it's like really strange. It's like he just really don't like the Spurs. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're not a good team, but like, oh my goodness.
This shouldn't even be a playing game for them. Shout out to Dejounte.
I don't think the Spurs suck. I think they have good pieces.
Yeah, I mean, teams can have good pieces and still suck. I think they
13 games under 500. Like y'all say, we suck.
You guys legitimately are bad to watch.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
The Spurs are fun.
We're fun to watch.
Spurs are very.
Yeah, the Spurs are competitive,
and
that's why I said.
I don't know. I don't know what the threshold is for like absolutely suck. I don't know. I don't think we're a good team. I wouldn't say that we just suck. Like I don't know. I kind of use suck as in teams that are just really, really bad. And as he said, not being fun to watch. Like, to me, that's like, okay, this just sucks. I don't know. The Lakers, to me, a lot of times this season was not that fun to watch. Not great basketball at times. Obviously, LeBron plays great basketball, but, the team as a whole was just like, oh. But the San Antonio Spurs, I don't know. We don't suck. We're not a good team, but we're bad enough to miss the playoffs, but we're good enough to barely scrape in there. You know what I mean? I don't know.
They don't suck.
They're a competitive loser.
No, I mean, all right, look.
No, you're right. No, I'm just coping right now. Like,
early on,
competitive loser. I think that's harsh, but yeah.
Hard in processing.
Sidebar. Early on, when I was talking about Devin Booker, early in his career, you guys were telling me he was playing losing basketball, right? They were still competitive.
I don't know why you say it.
But they okay.
I did. I will tell you right now, I did.
But they were still competitive every single game.
He is very proud of his takes, isn't he?
With a loss margin of less than 5 points that year. So with that being said, like, even though they were losing, they were still competitive. So I can't say that team sucks if they're making you play your best game to beat them.
That's fair. So you know what? I'm going to say the competitive losers.
It's funny, but it's true.
Unfortunately,
it's 13 games under 5. I don't think they should have a play-in. I really don't. I think I tweeted like 4 or 5 days. I don't think the West should have a play-in at all.
All right, well, play-ins aren't even supposed to be a thing. So, I'm agreeing with quite a bit of this. I'm just not agreeing with, because it's like you agree, but then at the same time, he comes across as the type of person that even if the Spurs were good, even if they were competitive, he would still be saying they're not good. You know what I mean? Like, he'll still be saying, like, because there were so many people in like 2012, 2013, even 2014 that had this type of attitude when it comes to the Spurs. I don't know what it is, but some people just genuinely just don't like the Spurs.
Like, I think the 8 teams are set at this point. There's no reason why a team
selective play-in from here on out.
There's no reason why a team 13 games under 500 should have a chance to win a couple games and get in.
Hey man, the East are so bad not too long ago till they had guys in the 8th seed with, they were way below 500.
Top 5 point guard though.
There's been teams in
NBA.
What?
Did he say Dejounte? I want you guys to, because I think we talked about this before. But I'm not sure about that. I think we talked about it before. Is Dejounte Murray a top 5 point? That's pretty, I don't know. There's some really great point guards. I don't know. I would say he's top 10.
The NBA.
Dejounte's not top 5.
Give me 5 better.
It's literally 5 in the West.
Yes,
Trey, Steph.
Trey is not better than Dejounte.
John Morant.
Oh my.
Is he serious? Trey is not. I don't know, man. Trey's kind of. Trey, I want to know what you guys think. Is Trey Young? I mean, Trey Young's kind of beastie, bro. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Chief.
God, you're delusional.
Trey's not better than
He's
Dejounte.
trolling. He's trolling.
Yeah, he's trolling.
Okay, Jesus, I'm gonna.
Oh,
Congrats.
okay. He was trolling. He was playing. Okay. I didn't even think. And he's very positive about the Spurs. I kind of like this guy.
Rivers the only person that knows me.
He's definitely trolling. That's insane to say.
Like, come on.
I don't think the Spurs they've been
I don't think it's insane. I think you could make an argument for it. I don't agree with it though.
competitive, but it's like, why make the playoffs? I mean, I get the experience part, but they were just in the play-in last year. They lost. This year, they should have been trying to get a pick to kind of upstart, their lottery. But
One thing I was gonna
the
say to you is
Spurs-
this.
Well, we draft so well and we have so many competitive guys. It's going to be really hard for Popovich to go in there and tell them to sit this out or purposely tank. It seems like it's been times where the Spurs tried to. They set down players, but we're just so competitive till it just didn't matter.
Feel a lot like the Raptors without Scotty Barnes.
Ugh, I strongly disagree.
Because they kind of have a Scotty.
Who?
DeJounte.
No.
Keldon.
I mean, even though Keldon's not a two-way,
Yeah, he's Keldon. I thought he was going to say Keldon.
he's that forward
He's
scorer.
he have the
decent on-
potential
he's decent
like
on
Scotty,
defense
though?
now, but
No, because
I
Scotty has
disagree.
like a
I
good
think
handle on the
Toronto's
ball.
starting five is very solid. One of the better starting fives.
I'm talking about they both have competitive teams, but the Raptors have a piece that can potentially take them over the top in
Yeah.
the next couple
They're-
of
And
years.
Pascal Siakam still clears everyone.
He's not going to take you anywhere as the number one option.
Toronto's
that's
No,
competitive.
no, he's not.
They won the,
They
they
have a
won the
number-
title.
Yeah, but they don't have a number one right now.
was-
I think
He
you
was-
could
he
win
was
the
the number two
championship
on
with
off
DeJounte
nights.
Murray.
Kyle Lowry and him split time.
As like the third option, yeah.
No.
Yo, stop.
No, like now I'm not joking.
Oh, what do you say?
No, I think you can win a championship with DeJounte Murray.
Oh, yeah. But
Yeah, you can win the championship with DeJounte Murray. You just need some superstars. Like I think we need at least a couple superstars. Like DeJounte Murray is definitely a guy you plug in, and he's playing above what you would even need him to do. Like I just think you need to plug in some superstars.
but you need others.
Of course, not just like him and like no.
You know what? I would even argue. I'll go as far as this, and this might be crazy to say, but I think I'm gonna stick with it. I don't even think the Spurs need multiple superstars. The more I think about it, I think that the Spurs really just need like one superstar. I even think back at the 2017 San Antonio Spurs, and well, that's a pretty tough one. But I will argue that the 2017 Spurs could have won the finals and could have beat the really big super team with the Warriors. And what we would have had was a superstar and a star. Like LaMarcus Aldridge is not a superstar, but obviously Kawhi Leonard is. And I think that would have been pretty nice. And I think we had enough talent to get there. I mean, but then you kind of make the argument, well, what about Manu? Would you consider him that at that time? And it's like, not really, but he still has the Manu mentality. I don't know. Big questions. I'm not 100% sure, but I would argue that we just need one superstar and we'll be good. Our system can carry us through the rest.
Body.
Yeah, I think if he's on Boston, they're
It
championship
took him some
contenders.
time to get here, though.
If If DeJounte's on Boston, they're
No,
championship
but
contenders.
DeJounte walked in the league as one of the better.
Is DeJounte Murray's on Boston the championship's theirs? Yeah, I agree with that. But you know what? Well, I don't agree with that. It's 100% theirs. But I'll say this. Yeah, he's a good point guard. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why they wanted Derek White as well. He's kind of gluing that team together a little bit. And DeJounte Murray, he could do that too. But DeJounte Murray's more of a scorer. And I don't think that that's necessarily what the Boston Celtics need. And I don't think that's necessarily what they wanted. So I don't know.
Defenders in the NBA. Like
He's definitely an offensive-minded point guard. Is that fair to say? I think that's fair to say.
as soon as he was in the league, he was
Yeah.
one of the better
Ooh.
defenders.
If he was on
DJ
the
was.
You have
Celtics,
DeJounte Murray on Boston.
They
They
win.
are championship
They
contenders.
win.
They probably win it
but
all.
they're already championship contenders.
Right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, they
Without
are.
Rob Williams, it's hard. But I think with Rob, you have to respect that.
With
Like,
Rob,
but
they're
with
championship
Rob,
contenders.
they're like the fifth, fourth team for me.
No, they're a liable chance.
I don't know, man. They've been the best team in the NBA,
Since January.
which is a
That's
good
why I
amount of
talk
time
about
right
them. I
now.
want to talk about
Respectfully.
Spurs.
Yeah, man.
I don't see how
You think
do
you
that.
think
In my opinion, Celtics
a
would be
team
three.
with LeBron and DeJounte could win a championship?
Ooh.
Not ridiculous.
Fit.
Skipping all this.
I'm not. Name another.
DeJounte's just a two-way player. I mean, he doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but he doesn't need to
Ooh.
because he gets his spots.
True.
You're actually crazy for
There's
saying
certain
that,
guys
bro.
that can't shoot it.
Just
Just
because
they
we've
don't
been
get
hurt.
there.
That's why.
You know what I mean?
Healthy? No.
I like this guy a
Exactly
lot.
why I'm saying that though.
But I'm saying who's better?
But
Right
what
now?
do you think? What do you think about the Spurs though in their future? You think that they're kind of
The problem
getting
is,
into the playoff for no reason because it's going to cost them a top pick?
Yes, I think so. I think us getting into the playoffs would not benefit us much at all. I know a lot of people say experience, but I've said this before. I think that you need to take that initial step for that experience. Like some people have said that, well, what about OKC? They needed that experience. Well, when they were getting their experience, they already had their team 100% established with James Harden, Westbrook, and KD. And that experience, yeah, it got them to the finals initially. It made sense. They needed that experience. Right now, I don't even think that the Spurs are 100%, sure about who's even staying on this roster. So I don't think that the experience really matters as much as people think that it does. You got to make that initial step first. We're getting the experience as far as getting in the play-in, playing hard at the end of seasons, and learning how to finish games. But I don't think they're on that step yet, that second step where it's, okay, now it's time for experience. Typically how I see it goes is you get your superstar, you establish what type of team you want to be, and then the experience starts coming. The second, third year, usually the experience is what's really getting you to become a better and better team, and then you're a championship caliber team. So it's a process. We're not going to do it in a season, and I definitely don't believe that us doing it now necessarily helps, because we'll be stuck with players outside of the lottery, which not necessarily bad in this draft. This draft is amazing, but if we have that opportunity, we have like a 20% shot at getting a 1 through 4 pick. I take it. And you also want that lottery pick so you could trade up if, the opportunity presents itself.
I mean, if they lose it, no. But the problem with the Spurs is they have Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich is never going to settle for less than trying to win. So in that,
okay. So actually, what happened this season, at least this is how I saw it, is that the players themselves were the ones just kind of playing hard. I don't think Popovich. I think Pop, even when they talked to him about tanking, he kind of took a neutral position on it. Like, he definitely said and acknowledged that he understood it, and it definitely sounded as if he was basically saying, yeah, I get it, I understand, I know, a pick would be very helpful. But he also was in a sticky situation where it's like, this team plays hard, this team wants to win, and they're in no position to sit back and say, oh yeah, you guys just don't play hard, purposefully lose. It's not in the culture, and I don't think the players would be very open to that. So in
that sense, he's always, no matter who's on the roster, going to try to make the playoffs, because that's just how he is. That's how he's always been. So they're kind of
Pop is capable of tanking. Okay, he's capable of sitting down certain players and go ahead and just riding that bad boy out. He's been doing it this season as well, by the way. There's been a few, sussy-wussy times in which he's sitting players at certain times. So Pop kind of doing it, but the team is very competitive, and Pop is too good of a coach.
kind of in a position. I'm not saying fire Pop. You should never ever think about firing Pop. I think Pop should stay. But Pop has to understand. Yeah, Pop has to understand, is he going to realize this team needs to rebuild, or I'm going to keep trying to win?
I really hate it. I really hate it when all of the pressure goes onto Pop. Like, this happens pretty often. He's not the first one to do it, but every single time. When is Pop gonna realize that it's time to rebuild? You know why the Spurs been successful this long? It's not just Pop. They've been successful for so long because of the front office. They have a great culture inside out. Like, it's not just Pop. Pop doesn't make every single decision. Like, I hate that, man.
When games,
They've already rebuilt though. This is their
We didn't rebuild.
rebuild.
it's
I
the
don't think
start of
that
it though.
that's
They
true.
just
Right. I agree. It's the start of the rebuild.
They
traded DeMar
rebuilt.
last year. They
I
were
mean,
trying to win that
And
year.
they just
When they traded
Derek
Kawhi,
White
they
also.
What do you
rebuilt.
not like about
No. When we traded Kawhi, we did not rebuild. That's the first bad take. He has some really good takes, by the way, but that's the first bad take. No, we didn't rebuild when we traded Kawhi. We were hoping and wishing that the trade with Kawhi would potentially get us in playoff contention and, try to win something. But no, they didn't. No.
What do you mean?
Like,
I don't like that they don't
I
have
feel like
any-
okay.
They need
I
more
feel like
scoring,
their
the
cloud in
defense
here,
is,
like the cloud over the Spurs is like dark.
I don't know how you
Yeah.
can say the Spurs.
That's what I said. It's like this guy, I think it's mostly this guy. He really doesn't like the Spurs.
Spurs aren't a rebuilding team when most of their players are 24 years old.
They are.
No, I'm not
No,
saying.
yeah,
I'm not
You're
saying that.
this is their rebuild
I'm saying
team.
it sounds
It
like
is their rebuild team.
I
saying-
still think that it's still
I'll
going.
give you an example. I look
No,
at
but this is what I'm saying to clarify, because Joel misinterpreted. I'm saying like, why does it feel like you guys don't have faith that the Spurs have a bright future?
I'll say this. I look at for
Yeah, exactly. Especially this guy.
me personally, like this is just for me. I look at Detroit, I look at Cleveland, I look at Toronto. Cade can be a superstar. Scotty Barnes can be a superstar. Evan Mobley can be a superstar. I look at San Antonio. There is not one person on that roster, and I'm the biggest Dejounte Murray fan in the world. There's not one player on that roster that I believe can be a superstar.
I'm not gonna hate him on this. Once again, it really feels weird agreeing with him because I do believe that he hates the Spurs. But I'm gonna say this. I don't think that we have any superstars right now. And I do agree what he said about Dejounte. You guys know I said this about Keldon as well. I don't think that they'll be superstars. I don't see that in the future. But with that being said, there's definitely a few guys on this team, or at least a couple that come to mind, where I will say, yeah, I could definitely see superstar from them. And those definitely two guys are Devin Vassell and Joshua Primo. But once again, I would not expect, and this is the thing, I would not expect him or these guys, and they cover all sports or all NBA, I believe. So I wouldn't put that on them to say like, oh, you guys didn't know how good Joshua Primo is. No, I'm not expecting anybody to do that. There's no way you can keep up with the San Antonio Spurs as in depth as we do without that just being the team that you focus on or you're a huge fan of theirs. So what he's saying when he's saying he doesn't see one superstar, I think that he's wrong. I think that Josh Primo definitely can be that. Devin Vassell can definitely be that. But as it stands right now, the reality is no, we don't have a superstar right now, and it definitely would be hard for just a normal fan to see that.
That's why.
So
And Greg
you don't ever
Popovich
think
is
DeJounte could
retiring.
grow into one?
No, I don't think he can be a superstar. I think he's going to be an all-star player for a long time. I don't believe he can be a superstar. I don't think he has it in him.
I agree with that though.
And
He
who's
has
their
the
next
vision.
coach too?
He has the motor.
He's
He plays
25.
deep. DeJounte?
Yeah. He's
Nah, but this.
he's pretty much gonna he's pretty much gonna be
You
making a
said
little.
it like that was old though.
No, I'm saying like we kind of.
I'm telling you,
not
with them and young guys, when they finally really start going off, 25 is
Oh,
old.
I think we kind of know, like we kind of have an
No, I
idea
sit
what
here every
DeJounte
week
is
with
going to
that.
be at his peak.
Like Cameron Johnson, for him doing what he's doing, they don't like him because he's 25.
We don't like him.
You specifically also.
No, that you're misinterpreting that. It's not that we don't.
Okay, so the 25 thing, let me address that. Now I know a lot of Spurs fans will get upset about this, and I completely understand where all of you will be coming from, right? For the most part, when people usually say he's old, they never really contextualize the situation. They never say, well, it's because he was behind the big four, really? Because Kawhi? They don't say that he didn't really get his opportunity because of Tony Parker until Tony Parker left, essentially. And people don't talk about the injury. So that's what pushed him up to the age of 25. And even Dejounte Murray was very defensive about this when fans bring this up. But it is the reality. He is 25. He can get much better, obviously, but he is 25. And with that, I mean, I'm not saying that's not old by any means, but it's definitely will be considered, even no fault of his own, late bloomer type of situation. And it's the same thing with Derek White. Like, a lot of people said that about Derek White as well. It's like, okay, he's a little bit older. He's not part of the timeline. And DeJounte Murray is right there scraping on it, but I don't know. I understand what he's saying. It's like, yeah, he's 25. And that's just reality. It's no fault of his own. It's not that he just took so long to develop. He could have developed earlier, but, should have, could have, and, it just didn't happen that way.
Don't like the players.
I'm exaggerating.
But you act as if they're gonna be superstars when we're like they kind of already reached their peak. If you're
DeJounte
20,
DeJounte hasn't reached his peak. DeJounte hasn't
I think
reached
we
his
know
peak.
what DeJounte's
DeJounte hasn't reached his peak. I agree with that. I think DeJounte gets slightly better.
going to be at this
we know what
point.
Cam
I
Johnson's
agree.
gonna be.
He said we know what DeJounte's going to be at this point. Yeah. I think actually pretty early on. It's so weird to agree with anything because I don't think this guy likes the Spurs at all. But yeah, when it comes to players in general, you kind of got a good vibe of what type of player they're going to be. Typically, guys who weren't excellent ball handlers don't all of a sudden come into the league and then become excellent, great, elite ball handlers. That doesn't typically happen. And I'm not talking about Dejounte in particular. I'm just saying, like, in general, you kind of know what type of player they are. And Dejounte Murray, if you look at his game has not changed tremendously at all. Like, it's just been after, a few seasons, his IQ has gotten a little bit better. He's grown as far as efficiency and scoring around the rim and scoring his mid-range shot. So he's just gotten better at doing things that he was already good at doing. But there's nothing really added to his game where it's like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Not really, not 100%. And that's not the reality of NBA players. They don't magically become so much better. All these different things they didn't have before.
See, that's the thing. I
don't
can't
know he's
sit
gonna
with
be.
that. I can't sit with
He
that.
could definitely go to a team and have higher volume, but we know what he is as a player.
Now, what if he gets a tighter handle in 2 off seasons and becomes a shot creator?
Now,
At the age
do
of
we know
27,
what Desmond Bane's
Cameron
going to be?
Johnson.
Do we know what
Desmond
Bane's
Bane's
going
a
to be?
second-year player.
And Cameron Johnson's been in the league for
But
what,
he's
2-3
older.
years? See, who
That
cares?
matters. He's older.
So
And Desmond Bane's
older.
already better than Cam Johnson.
I
as a
don't-
You can
second-year
make
I
the
player.
argument that
disagree.
you can make the argument that Cam Johnson's
Let me see,
tenure
did they talk
with
about the Spurs
UNC
anymore?
can't frown
That's-
upon.
Anybody
no, no,
thinks
no,
that Johnson's gonna be a superstar.
Let's clarify it. What I said was
Why
I think
can't
there's
he
a why can't he be? There's a chance.
Okay.
I'm not saying that definitively in a couple years.
you think
we're
he
gonna
There's a
top
chance
10 player
for
in the league?
everything.
You think he'd be a top 10 player in the league? That's a superstar.
Nah,
No, stop. Don't say nothing.
stop.
Well,
Do you think
top
that's
15 is now. a
Don't
superstar.
don't let him drag that.
Man, he just really don't like the Spurs. I do see where he's coming from, but he really just don't like the Spurs.
Exactly.
That's
Thank
not
you very
true.
much.
Okay, fine. Do you think he could be a top 15 player in
Hell
the league?
no.
No.
He won't even be a top 5
I'll
point
tell you
guard
what,
in his prime.
top 20 borderline, because even, let's say, if Zion's not top 15, I still say Zion's
Zion's
a superstar.
21
All right.
years
Zion's will
old.
be top 15.
He
I
would be
agree.
top
No, but
10.
I'm just saying,
probably in like 4 or
27 is
5
top-
years.
I understand what God, I hate this. I do get it. Age does matter. I know this guy tried to say that age doesn't matter. Age certainly matters. It's one of those things where people usually, like I said, you weaponize it against the Spurs. Age. They've been weaponizing age against the San Antonio Spurs forever. I mean, if we even go back to when we had a pretty oldie team, okay, when Antonio McDyess and those guys. So people will no doubt weaponize our age against us. So I get why certain Spurs fans would definitely be defensive, on the defensive. But unfortunately, it's just one of those things where I have to agree with someone that might be a Spurs enemy.
20, you could still
I'm saying
debate that they could be
DeJounte's 25
superstars.
years old.
Oh, no, listen.
And
I'm
They
not-
are really focusing on DeJounte, by the way. And the title of this video is "We Were Wrong About the San Antonio Spurs," but most of this has been kind of like DeJounte bashing.
You think Zion's gonna be a top 10 player?
He couldn't
could
be.
be. Bro, in
I
year
think that's
two-
more
in-
liable
stop,
than
bro,
saying
bro,
DeJounte could
in
be a
year-
superstar.
In year 227. In year 227.
Zion's floor is DeJounte's ceiling.
That's even. I don't even know about that.
yeah,
That
for
might-
real.
That might
No,
be.
you're right,
Zion's
Rev.
floor might be better than DeJounte's ceiling. Honest to God, like not even trying to be funny.
That's
It might be.
That's how you see it.
Can
I don't really wanna say
DeJounte
it.
Murray
Zion's
ever
floor-
be?
I mean, Zion's a beast. Why is this even a comparison though? I don't know where. Look, I'm getting a little irritated. I don't know how we even got to this point, because why are we comparing DeJounte Murray to Zion? Like, Zion was a #1 overall pick. DeJounte Murray was late first round. But not only that, DeJounte Murray, he was supposed to be a lottery. He was supposed to be a late lottery pick, actually. But yeah, he's not a first round pick. Like, we're not comparing a guy who's expected to be a superstar to a guy that like DeJounte Murray is playing above what you will want from where he was drafted. Point blank, period. I mean, I don't even know why we're comparing other superstars to DeJounte. I guess it's just because the discourse turns into that when this guy said that he believes DeJounte could be a superstar or whatnot. But I just don't see how we even got here. I don't like that. Like, why are we comparing DeJounte Murray to the and that's see if you start doing that, like, obviously it's going to turn into DeJounte Murray bashing, because yeah, I mean, we could do that with anybody on the team right now, right?
Or it might be better than.
Wait, what if I just started talking about, like, look, Josh Primo, he has a lot of potential, but is he Steph Curry? It's like, no.
in DeJounte's attic.
Can DeJounte
Not right now.
Scott.
But even that would make a little bit more sense because of where they were in the lottery. Well, at least where Primo was. He was at least a lottery pick. So.
Oh, y'all trying to violate.
I love DeJounte, but it's
we're
like, I
not
know what he's gonna
violating.
be.
We're comparing him to the best of the best.
We kind of already know what
Can-
DeJounte's going to be. Bro.
Can he
He's
ever
gonna
be
a good
better
player,
than
but-
Ja Morant?
No,
Hell no.
especially
No.
no.
There's no way in hell.
No.
He's way too animated, okay? See, it's like I sit back and it's like, would DeJounte Murray be Ja? And I'm like, no. And then this guy agrees with me. He's like, no, he won't. What? What's wrong with you? He's trash. It's like, oh my God. Like,
It's just
Or Trey, or
But all these
Luka.
top guys struggle against him.
Because he's a lock. We know he's a lock-up defender.
But he
Nobody's
needs to-
denying
his
that.
offense,
That's
like,
why I think he
His
can be like
he's not a
playmaker.
shooter. He's not a shooter.
he can be a third guy.
No, and his field goal percentage is butt.
But he gets to his spots.
He's
though.
not. He's not that guy. He's not
he
that
has
guy.
the ability to get to his spots.
He
It's
is.
all about
He's,
knocking
you know who
down
he's
these
like?
shots
He's
now.
like Drew Holiday. He's not that guy you can build a championship team around. He's that
I agree.
guy where you plug in and he's the championship missing piece.
I agree.
That's
Question:
the guy
if
he
you
is.
put him on Milwaukee and switch him with Drew, are they still the same?
I think Drew's still a little more
I
seasoned
agree.
and experienced.
I
That's
agree.
I
the
would
wait.
say
Hold
no.
up. That's a.
Drew Holiday? I don't know. I don't think that's fair. Drew Holiday, I mean, he won a championship. Like, I don't know. That's not a fair. I guess that is more fair because their games are a little more similar. But Drew Holiday is like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from him.
perfect comp though. I kind of feel like
That is a
we
perfect
kind of
comp.
feel like DeJounte's gonna be a Drew Holiday level player.
I don't think that's a valid comp.
It
Don't
why?
hate. Don't hate. That's
I wouldn't jack that.
I'll tell you what.
right?
He's
I'll
feeling
tell you,
good.
but I'll tell you this: DeJounte's more athletic. He's a little bit better of a playmaker.
Drew
Can
is sneaky
rebound.
athletic. He just doesn't
Yeah, no,
use
agreed.
it. He's sneaky
Agreed.
athletic.
Agreed. I'm just saying like quickness in terms of like being that
Yeah.
twitchy type player, but
And Drew's a better shooter.
better shooter, better defender.
But Drew's also 30s.
But we got
31.
into this
For sure.
We got
DeJounte would
into
be
this
better.
tangent
Drew's a better
because
defender by far. Like he's a better defender. Like
Because he can guard bigger guards better than bigger players.
I will say that I think DeJounte Murray could be better than Drew Holiday. It's just right now, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty tick for tat. I mean, I guess DeJounte's better than Drew Holiday. That's actually, I don't know. That's an interesting thing. I don't know.
Bigger.
Yo,
This,
better
by
than
the way, I messed that up. By the way, this whole video has literally been DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte, he can. You're putting
This-
I'm
Drew
not a
on Kevin Durant.
DeJounte fan, bro. I've watched a couple Spurs games this year, bro, and what I've seen from DeJounte, like
Couple? He's a DeJounte fan too.
Drew Holiday's getting put on Kevin Durant for games. DeJounte Murray's not doing that.
3-4 years ago.
No, he just did it last year in the playoffs. Drew just did that, bro.
Okay, I understand. Hold up. We're
Did he
going on-
not, bro?
He gets cooked. I ain't gonna say.
Yeah, like I'm about to say, like
He
here we
gets
go.
cooked. He gets cooked. He's 7 feet. He gets
Right now,
cooked.
this is what I'm
What's
saying.
going on?
We're
He
going
gets
on a
cooked.
tangent right now
You're right.
because of Keith's word choice of
7 feet.
he can be, but ultimately you don't think he's gonna be that. That's why I'm kind of confused here because you're like defending the case, but you don't think he's gonna be that.
I don't think he
He
can
thinks
be
he
in
can
San
be.
Antonio.
That's true. That is true. This guy been backing off continuously. They're like, well, would he be a top 10 superstar? And he just like gets quiet. And then he'll come back and be like, what? Why you hate DeJounte can be this? It's like, I mean, is he or is he not?
Antonio.
He wants to be.
Keys,
He wants
it's
to.
Hey, by the way, he low key impeccable. If you're watching this, he low key look like you. He low key look like you.
Right,
it
bro.
an
You
open
could say
discussion.
yes. You think he can be. Just you can be real. You
Bro,
think
be
honest.
look at the smile on his face.
You don't want to get destroyed. That's why.
Yo, bro.
We
I'm
all
just-
been there,
bro,
Keith. I feel
I'm just
you.
saying, bro.
Keith
like,
is gonna wait for somebody to comment. I believe, and then he's gonna be like, "See, I believe it too."
I said it right to Rev. Like, yo,
yo,
I said it right to you. Like, yo, bro, look, see, I do.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was very strange. I didn't enjoy that at all because most of this, I'll be honest, I didn't want to agree, but I did agree with him, and it felt weird because he hates the Spurs. And also, I want to just look at the comments because I feel like people will be pretty pissed off at this. All right. Nah, young fellas, no one on Spurs Twitter is behaving like they made the championship. They are excited because the Spurs are looking okay. With the Spurs officially making the play-in, they still will have 3 first-round picks and 3. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, by the way, this doesn't. I mean, the play-in, that's fine. I just the playoffs is what I'm kind of skeptical of. Come on with the backhand apology. Their future is bright and the team is young. This their first year without the vets and they exceeding expectations, and DeJounte isn't done growing. This is really his first year being the first option and he's doing good. Yeah, I would say doing great. Also, yeah, I do agree with that. It was kind of a backhand apology for sure. It wasn't really an apology. It was just kind of like we were wrong there in the play-in. I just like talk about Dejounte. I feel like this feeling that the Spurs are gonna get lucky, like the Pelicans, and get a top 2 pick. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm giving you a thumbs up, Wayne. Let's see. Give the Spurs some respect. But they steal this about but they say this about all Spurs players. They said the same thing about Kawhi and said he won't be a superstar. He's only a system player and a play. Well, people that said that were really dumb. I was saying since the beginning that Kawhi would be a superstar. Like, it was very obvious. Like, even if you looked at his hands alone, his size, his hands, his work ethic. I mean, he had all the pieces there. Defense was lock. It's super young too, like literal lockdown defender. No one on this, as good as defenders we have, especially Dejounte, but no one on this roster can defend as well as Kawhi did at the age of like 22. Dejounte is 25. He's averaging. Yeah, he's putting his averages. Yeah, he is averaging pretty well. Y'all really don't know how to take an L. We tagging y'all because y'all were flat out wrong. Try again next time. I don't know. I can see these clowns making another apology video next season. I don't think he watched this video because this was not really an apology video. All right, well, look, this is a super long video. I just wanted to go through what they had to say and respond to it. I'll give it to you guys later. If you want to support the channel, only $2 per month if you made it this far. But yeah, I love you. See, that's what happens when you stay for the end. I actually give you a I love you. That's special. All right.